Get knocked, Sparta! No hug needed!
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at Wembley Box Park at the start of the biggest fight week this country has ever seen. I'm joined by Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren. It's finally happening, Frank.
It is. You know, it's flown by, hasn't it, this year? So we're only, 4 days away from the big man against the other big man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, let me ask you about Dillian Whyte. It seems like things have smoothed over from the outside. He's done a few interviews with BT, with ESPN. So what is the situation with you and Team Whyte at the moment?
Well, look, they're now complying and fulfilling their contractual obligations. We sat where we had quite lengthy Zoom calls and so forth. I spoke to Dillian myself, and we're all on track now for a great night of boxing.
I take it he'll be here tomorrow then?
I hope so.
Frank, 94,000 tickets. Again, going for 1.5 million pay-per-view buys on BT.
Yeah. I mean, the uptake's been tremendous, and it's all on track and online to do that.
Frank, how do you expect this to go? Obviously, Tyson's been in 2 grueling fights with Deontay Wilder, the first one and the third one especially. Do you think that's going to take something out of him come Saturday?
Well, I don't think Tyson's got a lot of miles on the clock. His last fight was his first one for nearly 2 years with the COVID and everything. And sometimes that can affect you when you're getting into the ring and you've got a bit of rust. But I thought, you know, he's got plenty of miles left on him. There's no doubt about that. I think as far as Dillian's concerned, if you're looking at both of them, I would suggest that he's the guy who's got more miles on the clock. But you know, Tyson's a consummate professional. He's trained very hard for this. I've been talking to him quite a bit. Last conversation was yesterday, and he was saying to me that he felt that it's the best training camp he's ever had, the best he's ever felt. So looking at that and looking at his performances, his last 3 or 4 performances, then you've got to think to yourself he's going to look something special.
Do you think we might see the older Tyson Fury come out for parts of this fight where he stays on the outside and kind of frustrates Dillian Whyte?
Tyson is a very, very smart fighter. He can box, he can trade, he's shown that. He can go toe-to-toe, he can take the fight to you as he's done with... I mean, the 3 fights he had with Wilder were all different type of fights. Second one, he just done it in his own game. Where it took the fight to him and eventually wore him down and stopped him. Tyson's obviously the taller man. Physically, he's taller. He's got a longer reach. For me, he is the. You know, he's obviously the favourite in the fight, and I think quite rightly so. But Dillian, by the way, has also had a good camp, and he's worked very hard. And with these big guys, anything can happen.
Frank, I was just speaking to your son Francis about this. Of course, you've done Naz in the States, you've done stadium fights with Calzaghe, numerous stadium fights. But where does this rank? This has got to be top of this list, surely. 94,000 people, the heavyweight championship of the world. Surely this is the biggest card you've ever put on.
Well, it's the biggest attended show in Europe ever, boxing event. So it's the biggest event, without a doubt. It's the biggest event we've ever done. You know, I was with Don King, we've done Bruno and Mike Tyson in Vegas, we've done Bruno at Wembley. I can go all over the years, you know, bringing Carl. You think when we brought Tyson back over in Belfast, we put him on the show out there with Carl Frampton, all the way through. We've done loads and loads of these stadium fights and big shows over the year. But, you know, the honest answer to it is this is by far the biggest one.
Just away from this, Frank, Conor Ben boxed on the weekend. A lot of talk during that media week was about David Avanesian. Firstly, in terms of Conor's performance, did you watch it and what did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought he'd done what he's expected to do. He'd done what he's expected to do, and I'll get it and understand it. What I don't understand, though, they keep saying that Avanesian, David's not a big enough name. Well, the 2 guys he fought, who knew them? No one knew them. Avanesian's a bigger name than the last 2 guys he fought, by far. It's a good fight to be made. It won't happen, and they don't want it. They don't fancy it.
Okay, you're saying it won't happen. If it did happen, does it sell out the O2 in your opinion?
Oh yeah, I think it's a big fight. I think we turned it into a really big fight. Absolutely.
So aside from Conor Benn, what are you planning for David Ammunition? What are the conversations with the WBC?
Well, they arrived here today, and I'll be seeing them, and we're going to go through it whilst they're here. He's ranked number 2 in the WBC, and I need to get him into either a straightforward title shot, because Ortiz doesn't look like he fancies it, or he gets, we do a final eliminator.
And just to close off, have you heard anything from the WBA or Don King about the Bryant Dubois situation?
There's a hearing today. King's objected to the splits of the purses, so they got a hearing today, and on that hearing we'll decide where or they'll make a decision. We will not move from the splits. That's what everybody participated in as far as a purse bid is concerned. And if you're participating in a purse bid and you're putting a bid in based upon that, then you're acting in bad faith to try and change it afterwards.
Okay, we'll have a catch up about that hearing tomorrow. Frank Warren, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and I'll see you tomorrow, all right?
Cheers, mate. Big good, thanks.
You get knocked, Sparta! No hug needed!
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.